Hey guys, I'm Dave and welcome to another episode of Debt Free Differently. Today we're going to talk about side jobs that can help you get out of debt, build an emergency fund, and even start to build wealth. We're not talking about MLMs, get rich quick scams, or online surveys for pennies. My wife and I paid off over $80,000 of debt in 20 months, and most of it we did with side jobs that added up to about $50,000 per year. A lot of friends ask us how we did it, so I hope this video will help you get started on your own journey. Of course, if you learned something new or like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel to learn how to pay off debt, manage your money, and even build wealth a little bit differently. You might be asking, why do side jobs matter so much? After you commit to getting out of debt, I strongly believe that you need to get a second, third, fourth, or even a fifth job. That might sound crazy, but these are short-term hustles that can change the rest of your financial life. As long as you have a main job and you have income from that job, you've likely become pretty accustomed to living with that on a day-to-day basis. And no matter what that amount of money is, you need to have a budget, but that's another video for another day. The main reason why side jobs are so important is that you can create income that has a singular purpose. That can be paying off debt, creating an emergency fund, saving for college, or something else. But once you have that goal, that's it. That's all that money is for. So 100% of your side money has a job, and your hard work determines how much of an impact it's going to have. So start with what you have and what you can start right now. Here are some no excuse ideas. For us, we lived in a house with a guest room. We had cars, and like most people, we had stuff. So tip number 2, turn where you live into money. Let's start with the house. We used Airbnb to rent out a spare guest room in our house for about $35 a night. We are the cheapest listing in our town, but every booking brought us that much closer to becoming debt-free. If we did same-day turnarounds, we could make about $1,000 a month. But in reality, we usually took about a day or two in between bookings, so it averaged around $800 a month. But when you take that out over the course of a year, that's $10,000 in 1 year just to share your space, meet some pretty cool and interesting people, and to be a little bit cleaner than you normally would be. Tip number 3, turn your car into money. Whether it's Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, or Postmates, I have driven as a job ever since these jobs have existed. Why? It's really easy, it's mindless, you can make money every single day, and you're only limited by yourself. When we were putting in work to become debt-free, I would deliver one meal on my way home from work on the weekdays, and I'd put in a few extra hours on the weekends. I'd make about $7 per delivery, but it all added up to about $4,000 per year. Most of these deliveries I did on my way home from work, so I basically got paid for taking the long way home, and it didn't even feel like work. If you have a spouse that's on board with you, that's another $4,000 per year just to take the scenic route home. Or you can do a little more. Do 2 per day, do 3 per day, do 4 per day. Go crazy with it. You can multiply how much you make per year. Have kids and want to use them as an excuse not to do one of the easiest side jobs that exists? Take them with you. We have a newborn and he earns money for college for every delivery that he sleeps through in the back of the car. For me, I think DoorDash is the easiest of the bunch, so I'll include a link to sign up if you're interested in doing it. Tip number 4, turn your stuff into money. To turn stuff into money, it's pretty simple. Sell stuff and don't buy new stuff. Every month, I would sell $50 of random things on the internet. That could be shoes, clothes, electronics, random pieces of wood trim that for God knows why people needed. I would sell that stuff on Gazelle. I would sell it on Facebook Marketplace. That was paying me $600 per year just to clear out clutter. Don't have a room, a car, or somehow you don't have stuff? There are still plenty of things that you can start doing this week that you can make your side job. Walk dogs, house sit, teach kids English online. There are so many opportunities for things that will add up over time, and all they take is you being responsible and going out there and doing them. So just using stuff we already had, those side jobs added up to about $15,000 per year. No interviews, no bosses, little to no stress, and no applications. And best of all, a lot of these things you can start today. Tip number 5, do more of what you do. So depending on what you do for work, this might look a little bit different. During daylight hours, I'm a writer. For my wife, she's a therapist. A tell me your problems therapist, not a my neck hurts when I poop therapist. Two very different jobs, but we both figured out how to make more money by doing more of what we do. For me, my previous employer actually reached out to me and asked if I could do my job in a part-time capacity. So every weekday basically looked like this. From 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., I worked my real job. From 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., I would deliver food on my way home. And then from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., I would work my second job. Was it fun to go to work pretty much twice a day? Not really. Was it doable for 2 years? Yes. And did I make an extra $200 a week or $10,000 per year just for giving up some TV time and doing more of what I already knew how to do? Big yes. For my wife, she was just getting started as a therapist at the time, but she didn't have a ton of clients where she was working. So what did she do? She found 2 more part-time jobs to fill her schedule. She increased her income by just working really, really hard. That took her from making $45,000 per year to over $70,000 per year just because she found more places to work. It was a grind, for sure, but we made an additional $35,000 just by doing more of what we do. And I know that these jobs might seem like they're hard to find, but it might just be picking up more hours. If you're a waiter, maybe you pick up another shift on the weekends, or you work at a movie theater, maybe someone gets sick and you're able to pick up their shift for them. You just do more of what you do. Tip number 6, pick up odd jobs. This is the anything and everything bucket. I made $200 doing a political focus group. I made $2,000 making a very simple Squarespace website for a small business. I did a taste test for Red Robin. I usually get one focus group every few months on userinterviews.com. My wife did social media posts for a toy company. Anything. Whether it's mowing lawns, shoveling driveways, feeding someone's cat, people are always posting these random things on Nextdoor that you can make $20 off of. Work at an election place on election day and make $18 an hour, or find some seasonal retail work. These things are not glamorous, but they're one-time things that you can do that add up over time and get you to where you want to be. So there you have it, guys. That's how we made over $50,000 in 1 year just with side jobs. If you're going to get out of debt, you have to put in the work. And the way you do it might look different. Your results might be different. The tactics you use might be different, but side jobs are a real way for you to make real money and get out of debt. So that's all I got for now, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Debt Free Differently.